South Africa's second Grand Slam winner this year, Kgothatso Montjane, is coming home this morning. Montjane won the women's wheelchair doubles title at Roland Garros just over a week ago. She then backed up her first major with success in the doubles at the French Riviera Open at the weekend. eNCA's Hloni Mtimkulu joins us live from Tambo International Airport, where South Africans should be waiting to welcome Montjane. Hi again, Hloni. Has Kgothatso landed? How are things looking?
Morning, Nandi. I think I jinxed myself earlier, so she hasn't landed. She's now landing just after 9 o'clock. Her flight is on the way, though, so that shouldn't be too much longer of a wait. Just before we speak to a Tennis South Africa board member, we have, if my colleague Kgothatso will just turn to my right, learners, I think from Helen Front School that Kgothatso Montjane was part of, so they've come to welcome her as well. There isn't a big contingent that is here, we just have to say, but the few that have now arrived, I think, will make it worthwhile for Kgothatso. So it is good to see them. She only started playing tennis at the age of 19 in about 2005, I think, so she was a late starter to tennis. But on Monday we were talking, when Donald Rampadi was here, just about how encouraging it will be for wheelchair tennis players. They were saying there are about 400 active wheelchair tennis players in the country, so this should serve as an inspiration to those players to say that they can see that there is a Grand Slam champion that is coming from their school especially. But now, Nandi, I am going to bring in Tennis South Africa board member, maybe to talk a little bit more about that and what all the success has done and will do for wheelchair tennis, or just for tennis actually as well as a whole in the country. I think, Robin Balui, I think we were talking earlier about the excitement that initially was caused by Kevin Anderson when he reached the Grand Slam semi-finals a few years ago. Now you've got Grand Slam champions. How big a moment is this for Tennis South Africa?
Yeah, for us it's very exciting times, obviously, but if you want to talk about how big the moment is, I mean, it raises the profile of the sport, especially with the younger crowd, to unimaginable heights at the moment. The spirit that's going on around, especially from the wheelchair community, is mind-blowing. So the profile of the sport obviously shoots sky high, and we're hoping that with that we can build on to that to be able to take the sport to various regions around the country.
Just talking about those regions, when it was Kevin Anderson, I mean, he came from St. Stithian, so you have one market on the side. But with Donald and even Kgothatso, I think it's a completely different market. Just how important is it to say it's not just about coming from Johannesburg or coming from the city, or about coming from a family that is able to afford you this life, but that anyone who wants to play tennis can play tennis with things going the right way?
Yeah, I think the message has always been that it's very doable, because we've seen it with other nations, that it's doable even from a background that is not considered to be, So what we would like to send out there as a message is this is a classical example of hunger, of passion, of determination. If you have those things as an individual, that will drive everything else that's going to come, and that's the message that I think it's coming very strongly out of what we're seeing right now, is besides all the difficulties, besides all the challenges, the obstacles, if the hunger, the determination is there, the vision, and the person is actually focused, it's still doable, it's achievable. Look, tennis is an individual sport. It's more demanding probably than other sports that are team orientated. You have to do a lot of things on your own. You have to fight on your own. So that individual has got to have those elements to actually make it. But if you do have it, it's achievable, it's doable.
I think we'll leave it there. Just waiting a little bit longer for Kgothatso Montjane to arrive. That was Tennis SA board member Robin Balui, just talking to us about how having two Grand Slam winners changes things, or potentially changes things for South African tennis, Nandi.
All right, Hloni, I'm sure those learners over there are very excited to meet our tennis sensation, Kgothatso Montjane. We're going to leave it there. That was eNCA's Hloni Mtimkulu at Tambo International Airport.